Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different connections, not just to the prequels and the originals, but also Star Wars Rebels, while also borrowing elements from Star Wars Legends, also known as the Expanded Universe, in order to tell a very unique and original story that's really going to resonate with Star Wars fans once they go ahead and see this movie come December of this year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is really going to be, well, a revelation movie. It's going to have a lot of different twists and turns, a lot of different surprises in this film that's going to change how we view and perceive the past 8 Star Wars movies, which, like I've always expressed, is going to be a big risk by Disney and Lucasfilm, and it's all a matter of how it's going to be organized and utilized on the big screen and exactly how it's going to be demonstrated to the fans come this December. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for the characters of Rey, Ahsoka, and even Ezra Bridger. Now, specifically, what's really interesting about all of this is that a description of Rey traveling into a place called the Lost City, where it's explained that she eventually comes across the Land of Warriors, a place full of ancient Jedi statues and relics, where it's explained that they eventually reach 2 large statues of Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka Tano. It's explained that one of the sequences is said to take place near Ezra's statue, where Rey explores the interior of the structure, where she begins to open a segment of the statue, discovering many secrets that Ezra Bridger kept left behind many years ago in the Lost City after he escaped from the unknown regions. It's described that within the statue, Rey comes across a metallic box that she discovers, where it's said that inside it contains the holocron of Ahsoka Tano that Ezra Bridger kept locked away for many years. It's described that Rey begins to hold the holocron, where she begins to hear a female voice, where it's said to have an echo effect that guides her through a series of catacombs that leads her to another section in the Lost City that is described to be the pathway to the Prime Jedi Temple. Now, it's described that somehow, well after the events of the original trilogy, Ezra Bridger got hold of Ahsoka's holocron and kept it safe within the Lost City itself, where Rey eventually discovers it in The Rise of Skywalker. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to have a lot of different Jedi, Sith, and Force lore. Now, when we think about the Jedi and Sith relics that are set to appear in this film, that will hold many different connections to characters like Rey, and of course, you know, Ahsoka, Ezra Bridger, etc., how it's really all going to be used as a way also in order to benefit many of the characters like Kylo Ren and Rey in this film, you can only imagine what they're really trying to do to set up brand new Star Wars lore, such as, of course, you know, the Land of Warriors, which, by the way, is a location full of ancient Jedi ruins, and we've actually been talking about this for a number of months now. Now, with that being said, the fact that Ezra Bridger kept the holocron of Ahsoka Tano hidden away within his statue is very interesting. Now, this is all said to have been done well after the events of the original trilogy, yet again telling us that they were indeed alive after Episode 6. And when we think about Ahsoka and Ezra, we really never got full closure as to exactly what happened to those characters after Rebels Season 4, and exactly what their lives were really going to be like for decades on later. So, with that being said, that's exactly what J.J. Abrams is trying to do here. It explains as to why he had a lot of discussions with Dave Filoni while he was writing the script and while he was even filming Episode 9. Dave Filoni, by the way, is the showrunner of Star Wars Rebels, and I cannot wait to see exactly what J.J. has in store in order to really fill in the gaps and to answer some questions. Now, with D23 just around the corner, we will be learning a whole lot more about Episode 9. J.J. will be providing tons of different interviews, as well as the cast like Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Mark Hamill, the list goes on. What I love so much about this particular moment, though, is that the holocron of Ahsoka Tano, her actual voice, is said to lead Rey over to the Prime Jedi Temple by making her go through a series of catacombs. Now, in case you guys missed it, the Lost City does indeed have a series of catacombs, these tunnel-like structures that lead her to other parts of the Jedi structures and the Jedi ruins, etc., that really makes her learn more about the ancient lore of the Jedi and as well as the ancient Sith. And I think this really sounds something directly out of Tomb Raider. I don't know why it does, but it almost sounds like Star Wars meets Tomb Raider. I don't know if you guys ever saw those films, but that's exactly how I'm imagining it to be like on the big screen. So, with that being said, you know, we do know that Rey goes on this personal mission in the second act of the film. We also know that she's trying to discover as much lore as possible in order to build a proper new order, whatever that's going to be called. It could be a different version of the Jedi Order or something completely brand new. Now, that's the thing here. We do know that J.J. Abrams will be using this film to change all 8 Star Wars movies that come before this one, and that's really going to be a big risk for sure. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.